Oh, hi there. Welcome to my channel. How's it going? I've never really done a video like this before, so this is a little bit weird. But I wanted to make a video because I recently wrote a Christmas carol and I wanted to do a couple of things really. Initially, I wanted to make a really big long video covering everything about why I wrote it and the music and the meaning behind the lyrics and all that kind of stuff. But that was going to be really long. So I instead kind of decided that it would be better to split that into two because it might have two distinct groups of people who'd be interested. So yeah, this one is going to be about the music. It's going to be sort of technical notes, breaking down the chords and the melody and the harmonies. So there's a high harmony and a low harmony, looking at some of the instrumentation that I chose as well. And if you want to play it or sing it yourself, this should give you the resource to be able to do that. You're totally free to use it like to sing at home, in church, in school, if you're caroling on your street or somewhere like that. All good, all fine. If it's like personal worship or getting in the Christmas spirit, great. If it's going to be something where you might, you know, earn money from recording it or singing it, then you have to ask for my permission. I very much doubt that anybody's going to do that anytime soon, but it's the internet, so you got to cover yourself, right? So yeah, please feel free to play it and sing it. I suppose the first thing is like, why did I write this tune? Because I'm not particularly skilled musically. Did a little bit of music theory at school, but have forgotten most of it. I don't think I would make my teachers particularly proud with the things that I've made because they really don't follow any kind of musical theory rules that they should. And also, this is a carol. Carols involve singing. I'm not a singer. I don't know how to breathe properly. But at the same time, sometimes you have an idea and you want to put it out there and you've only got your own voice and your own skills to be able to do it, and I think you should still do it. I still think there's some worth in that. I think that if you have something that's not technically perfect but you feel like there's a message behind it, or you feel like it has some kind of meaning to you and it might have meaning to somebody else, I think you should still do it. It may not be perfect, it doesn't matter. That's why it goes out into the world, for other people to take it and use it in their imperfect worship life. Like, I'm going to talk about this in the other video, but I really, really love particular carols and particular lines of carols. Like, they just really speak to me, excite me, sometimes make me quite emotional. If I'm ever able to do that for somebody else, that would be incredible. We're going to look at the music. I'm going to have to take you upstairs to the piano to do that. I'll probably actually do that tomorrow, so if I'm in different clothes, you'll know why. But we're going to look at the chords, we're going to look at the main melody. There is a high harmony and a low harmony, and then we've got different instrumentation. So yeah, I'll try and explain some of that stuff. So I guess one very quick bit of explanation I can give you before we get into like the actual music part is how I kind of came up with the tune in the first place. I wanted to write a traditional Christmas carol. I wanted something that sort of sounded nostalgic, even though it's new. I kind of knew that I wanted to write in a minor key, and I knew that I also wanted to use like the Dorian scale for some of the melody because it sounds old. And I actually started with the melody and the chords of another traditional Christmas carol. I don't know if you've noticed it, and I don't know if I mention it now, is that going to change the way you listen to the new carol? So it actually starts out from the beginning of We Three Kings. Ba 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 da da da. Oh, King born in Bethlehem. It does very quickly deviate from that tune, but to get that sort of feeling of nostalgia that, makes you feel warm at Christmas time, and to get that feeling of tradition and familiarity that means you can sing it kind of straight away because the melody kind of sounds familiar. I did rip off another Christmas carol, and a lot of music is influenced by other music, so I feel okay about it. I think it's what you then do with it that's the important thing. But hopefully that kind of root in an old traditional Christmas carol gives it the feeling that it needs. So yeah, let's give it a go. Let's see what happens. Oh, hi. So on to the Christmas carol itself. What do I need to tell you about this? This is in the key of E minor. It is in 6/8 time. I was recording it, I think, around a tempo of 88, but that was mostly because I needed to be able to breathe whenever I was singing it, and I found that when it was faster or slower, I just couldn't get the breathing in. So you might feel more comfortable at a faster tempo or a slower tempo. And I think that's pretty much it. We're going to go through the chords, the melody, the harmonies, and a little bit of instrumentation that you don't have to put in. I put in because I found it interesting, but I think there are probably way more interesting things that you could do with some of the little embellishments and motifs and things like that. So the first thing is the introduction and interludes in between each of the different sections. Begins on E minor. And then we have, oh, this is the thing. I get a wee bit confused between my B minors and my Bs, so we'll figure it out as we go along. Okay, so we've got E minor, B major, D major, E minor. And then I normally put a little bit of melody over the top. I can't really remember what I put into the recording. This is what I play when I'm doing it at the piano, so I normally go like this. Okay, so now we're going to look at the verse and the main melody. I'm trying to decide whether or not I should sing because I've had a bit of a sore throat for the past couple of days, but I'll put the melody underneath on the piano. So I was a little bit hesitant there, but I think you get the gist. So our chords for the first verse, so it's E minor, G major, B major the first time around, and then E minor. Then we stick with E minor, then we have G major, then we have B minor, and then we have E major, or sorry, E minor. Okay, so when it all goes together, it's going to sound like this. So then we have our main melody and our chords for our chorus. So we're starting with C major, G major, B major, E minor, C major, G major, B major, D major, E minor. So then we have our main melody for that section. Okay, and then if we put that together, it'll sound like, hopefully, okay, sounds all right. So basically it's all very much the same. On the final section of the final chorus, we have a little bit of a different melody and also a different ending. Instead of ending on an E minor, we're ending on an E major. So we have so our melody changes as well. So we have so together that should sound like. Okay, cool. So that was all of our main chords and our main melody. And now we're going to look at our low harmony first, I think. and then into the chorus. It's a little bit boring, but hey, what can you do? I'll try playing it all together, so here we go. And then the chorus is... And then we have our high harmony. And then the chorus. I'm going to play this one quite slowly because it's not as familiar to me. And then the chorus. Okay, so that's that part done. So then we've also got just a few little changes to the harmonies on that very last part of the last chorus. So on the lower end we have... So that is our low harmony. So our high harmony is a wee bit different as well. It goes like this. And that should be all of our harmonies, all of our chords. So the only other thing I wanted to sort of mention was I have put a little bit of like extra instrumentation into some of the verses. I suppose the two most notable parts are there is a little double bass line that is in verse 2, and it's supposed to give the idea of like traveling. So it's not a walking bass, but it is like a bass that gives the idea of travel, of movement. This is the verse that talks about the Magi and the shepherds coming to find Jesus. So it's kind of got this like kind of little hesitant feeling of like moving forward, but not quite knowing what you're moving towards. And then that continues on in the interlude between the second and the third sections. And then we also have a little sort of glockenspiel, or actually it's a celesta, which sounds, you know, quite appropriate, which comes in whenever we hear light being talked about. So we've got a little melody that's like this. And it sounds like this. one, I've sort of chopped it up and it comes in a little bit offbeat in certain places. Again, it's very much like if you're going to play this, if you're going to sing it, if you're going to do something with it, these are just ideas of what I've done. I think that's almost it. I mean, the only other thing I wanted to sort of mention was that I'm very aware that on the word unison, the voices are not singing in unison, but I quite like the harmony that came out there. But I think the most important thing is that the voices are singing Emmanuel, the name of Emmanuel, in harmony. So gather heart in unison swell to proclaim the name of Emmanuel. I think that's the important part. So I think that is pretty much everything, as long as I've got the notes right. It's not the most ideal way to explain how to play a tune, but hopefully it helps a little bit. And yeah, please enjoy. Hi, me back again. I hope that this is useful and helpful. At some point, maybe next year, I might try and create some sheet music for it and get some people to test it out because, you know, I can't read music. I don't know how to do that. So yeah, there's going to be another video, hopefully, where I go through the lyrics, the meaning behind the lyrics, the theology. Yeah, hope you have a great Christmas. See you later.